You wake tomorrow to your alarm clock trembling on the nightstand. You can see it shaking, but the sound it should be making has completely disappeared. And it is not only you, because all 8 billion people on Earth woke this very same morning to a silence so total that it feels physical. Because sound was only ever moving air, invisible waves of pressure rippling outward that your ear quietly translated into meaning your whole life without you ever noticing. Deep inside each ear sit thousands of microscopic hairs that bent with every passing wave and turned that trembling air into the signals your brain called sound. By breakfast, the modern world is quietly unraveling, with no sirens, no spoken warnings, no phones ringing, and no mother able to hear her own baby cry. But the deepest loss is not danger at all. It is connection, the human voice, the fragile thing that carried love and warmth and meaning between us. Yet, here is what all of human history quietly proves, that the mind absolutely refuses silence and will build a whole language out of nothing at all. In Nicaragua, during the 1980s, deaf children who had never shared a single word were brought together into one new school for the very first time. And given nothing at all to copy, they spontaneously invented a complete grammatical sign language of their own, unfolding right in front of the astonished watching linguists. It proves something profound, that language was never really about sound at all, but a deep hunger wired directly into the human brain from the moment of birth. And here is the strangest part of all. Because for many people who actually lose their hearing, silence turns out not to be silent in the slightest. Starved of the input it expected, the brain simply generates its own phantom sound, an endless ringing, with no source at all that doctors quietly call tinnitus. Then consider a real woman named Evelyn Glennie, one of the finest percussionists alive today, who has been profoundly deaf since she was just 12 years old. She performs barefoot on the stage so she can feel every single note rising up through the floor and into her bones, hearing the music with her whole body. Music itself would not die, but would simply move, flowing into the skin, into pulsing light, and into the motion and dance that our eyes could finally see. Society would slowly rebuild around sight and touch, with flashing alarms, trembling phones, and entire cities quietly redesigned for eyes that would now do all of the listening. Something precious would still be gone forever, though. That specific private miracle of a familiar voice, a certain laugh, a favorite song once remembered by heart. And yet, something rare would also be gained. A silence that forces us to truly look, to watch a human face, and to give it our complete attention. Because here is the quiet twist, that this experiment was never really about the losing of sound from the world in the very first place at all. Most of us drift through our whole lives only half listening, quietly ignoring the very sounds that we would one day beg and ache to have given back. So, a world without sound would never truly end the human story. It would simply change the beautiful language in which that endless story gets told.